So let's start with you, Jake. You have some new information to tell us about.
Yeah, that's right. President Trump, we're learning, according to a White House official, within the past couple of hours this afternoon, hosted a phone call with Gulf leaders to talk about the latest draft peace agreement sent over by Iran. That's according to a White House official granted anonymity to speak about some of these sensitive matters that are taking place behind the scenes as we speak. We also understand that inside the White House today, there are meetings consisting of the president as well as some of his top aides and allies. We're getting a little bit longer of a list of who some of those individuals are, including Vice President J.D. Vance, who we spotted a couple of hours ago, as well as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Jared Kushner, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, as well. Those conversations, those meetings we believe are still ongoing. We've not seen some of those departures of those top aides and allies as we still kind of work to learn some of the details behind those conversations. But we do understand that they are having ongoing conversations about potentially resuming military action, but also considering this latest draft agreement from Iran and a potential deal of peace. Marco Rubio is not here at the White House today. He is in India, the Secretary of State. He spoke to reporters, though, about where things lie at the moment. Take a listen to what he had to say.
There's been some progress done, some progress made. Even as I speak to you now, there's some work being done. There is a chance that whether it's later today, tomorrow, in a couple days, we may have something to say. But this issue needs to be solved, as the president has said, one way or the other. We need to address that issue. We need to address the issue of enrichment. These are the president's points consistently, and his preference is always to deal with it in a diplomatic way. The president's preference is always to solve problems such as these through a negotiated diplomatic solution. That's what we're working on right now.
Now, Britt, there is some reporting out there right now about a peace deal potentially getting close to being reached. I just asked a White House official about that, and they kind of level set and cautioned me to say that at the end of the day, President Trump is the one making the decision here about an ultimate peace deal. And they told me that very, very few people actually know in this moment what and how he is going to actually decide when it comes to this really engrossed conflict that we've seen. But this White House official did tell me that if any deal here is reached where Iran still has the ability to utilize some of that enriched uranium buried beneath the rocks there in Iran, that is a deal that is not successful. And so this is something President Trump has repeatedly said: a deal is going to be only a deal reached if it has no enriched uranium. That's going to be the really key sticking point we watch for here as we learn more about these meetings that are ongoing, Britt.